One of the things that I always was afraid of in my coaching career was violating NCAA rules. I made it very clear to my coaches and myself when I was a head coach, we're just not doing this. Whatever happened to integrity? Like, whatever happened to it? People say, well, everybody cheats. I've never heard that. No, I've never heard that because I know everybody doesn't cheat. In fact, I would argue most don't cheat. Now, the world of college sports is different, but there are still some things you can't do. And number one on the list as we sit here right now, or go back to last year, is don't lie to the NCAA. Just tell them. Don't lie. Well, Jim Harbaugh, was proven to be a liar. How do I know he lied? His own school and the Big Ten suspended him for a total of 6 games. You don't punish somebody for doing nothing. You don't just walk down the street and go, hey, I'm going to give you 3 games, and then a little while later, hey, I'm going to give you 3 more games. No, that's not how it works. You got to do something, have an investigation, particularly in this very litigious, whatever the hell the word is, world. Remember, Harbaugh and his cronies were going to appeal. They were appeal, big-time lawyers, let's go. Yeah, they dropped that real quick. And the president of Michigan shut the living hell up once he found out the real evidence. See, I always tell you this. There's always a backstory. Don't believe what you read. There's always a backstory. The backstory in this case with Jim Harbaugh, and this clown, and I mean he is a clown, Sherrone Moore, turned out to be true. The notice of allegations came in. Here's the way this works. The NCAA will investigate you. They will interview you. And coaches do this. They actually do this. They sign a letter saying, I have not cheated. I don't know of any cheating. They sign it. And basically on the letter, it says, yeah, well, if you sign this and we turned out to be lying, we can fire you. Well, now everybody at Michigan's lying. The notice of allegations was somehow leaked, not a surprise. But basically in the draft, in the notice of allegations. Now, the notice of allegations is the official document the NCAA sends to the school to alert them of what they did wrong. There are different levels. Level 1 is the worst. So they send the notice of allegations out to the public somehow, some way. It's the NCAA. They can screw up a soup sandwich. So it comes out, and it charges the new head coach. The new head coach, hail to the victor, volley. They said this guy, Sherrone Moore, could face a show cause penalty, which he won't, and possibly a suspension for deleting a thread of 52 text messages with former staffer Connor Stalions. Now, Stalions was the guy, if you remember, that basically last October was running a covert operation on sign stealing and cheating of opponents' movement, going to games. Listen to this. This is unbelievable. Sherrone Moore deleted 52 text messages with former staffer Stalions on October 2023 last year. On the same day, the media reports revealed Stalions was leading an effort to capture the play-calling signals of future opponents. Now, I got no problem, just so you understand. I think we have to go inch by inch here. I have no problem with stealing opponents' signals if you're doing it off TV. Hell no. Or if another school says, hey, this is what we got, what did you get? No problem whatsoever, but you can't go to games. It's a massive advantage. Why do you think people traveled across the country, people like myself, when I was in Indiana, and you could scout? When you could scout, you travel all across the country to do what? Scout. That's what you did. Everybody wanted you to scout. Why? Because it's an advantage. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't risk getting fired if it wasn't an advantage. Now, here's the funny part about this guy, Sherrone Moore. See, integrity doesn't matter. I get made fun of all the time on Twitter. Oh, dog, shut up. I've got more integrity. I left $3.5 million at West Virginia over the crap that they were doing, over I couldn't look my boss in the face, and went back to $125,000 at Bowling Green. I mean, just stop. Just stop. The fact of the matter is this guy, according to the NCAA notice of allegations, is a liar and a cheat. And don't give me that crap everybody does it, because everybody doesn't do it. Everybody doesn't lie to the NCAA. I've never heard that. Well, everybody lies to the NCAA. Let me tell you about lying to the NCAA. All right, let me back up 1 second. This guy, Sherrone Moore, is accused of lying to the NCAA by not turning over these text messages. It's like any other legal action. Do not delete. We've sent you this notice. Do not delete. If the court sends you notice, do not delete. Do not get rid of. Do not hide. Okay, here's the deal. So this guy deletes 52. On the day that media reports revealed Stalions was leading the effort to cheat. The texts were later discovered by device imaging, and of course, Moore's dumb cheating, sorry, cowardly ass, because that's what I consider cowards or cheaters, subsequently produced them to law enforcement. He is accused of a level 2 violation. Now remember, part of this is also this. Stalions, nobody even knew him on the staff. No one even knew him. They kept telling us, yeah, he was a lone wolf working. We hired him. We didn't know what he was doing, really? Okay. Jim Harbaugh accused of lying. Chris Partridge, Denard Robinson, who also got himself a DUI, and, of course, Stalions, level 1 violations. They face a 11-1 violation of a pattern of noncompliance within the football program, which basically means the football program gave the middle finger to the NCAA. Now, it's beautiful. Harbaugh, of course, is gone. But let's go back to Moore for a second. There's precedent here. In 2009, the best wide receiver and Heisman Trophy candidate was Dez Bryant of Oklahoma State. Dez Bryant in 2009, 3 games into the season, it was found out that he lied about an interaction with that clown Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was apparently acting as a go-between, as some type of agent, providing some funds to Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant lied. Dez Bryant got suspended for the rest of the year. Not 3 games, not some bullshit. We're not going to go against Bowling Green, Northern Illinois, and Tuskegee. No. The rest of the year is what Bryant got suspended. So let me ask you this. Let's just say these all turn out to be true, which, frankly, when I was at Indiana, and I got there after the NCAA investigation had pretty much concluded, and we got the notice of allegation, they were all true. In fact, they didn't go far enough on Calvin Sampson and the stupid stuff that cheating weasel was doing. But anyway, having said that, Dez Bryant is going to get he got a suspension. What's Sherrone Moore going to get? Why do we treat players worse? Now, I want to ask that question. Why do we treat players worse than grown-ass men making millions of dollars that represent themselves as, quote, leaders of men? Now, let me ask you, why? It was perfectly clear to every single college coach, at least when I coached. I asked my son, I've asked about 5 former coaches today from all across sports, including my wife. We all knew you don't lie to the NCAA, and if you do, you're done. Apparently, Jim Harbaugh and others understood, you don't lie to the NCAA unless you have to. It's a fascinating thing here. What's going to happen? I don't know. They got Harbaugh for 3 games under the Big Ten Sportsman Act, impermissible scouting operation that was run by Harbaugh. Now, the letter of allegations, of course, doesn't show that Harbaugh knew or was involved in the operation or that he knew what was going on, but he failed to look into it. Of course he failed to look into it. I know what you think Harbaugh or any high school, college, whatever coach is just going to have a guy on his staff doing that. It also showed that little weasel Stalions was in a disguise on the sideline against Central Michigan. Now, Central Michigan will be too chicken shit to do anything. Just so happens Central Michigan's coach is one of Harbaugh's best friends, work together, all that kind of stuff. Oh, man. This guy, Stalions, actually wore gear, if you remember, and a disguise. Now, all of these guys are doing stupid stuff. All right? But the focus is on Moore. Why? He's the head coach at Michigan. See, Moore has zero integrity. Moore is a cheat. And I always find it fascinating. These leaders of men. We're going to lead you. Really? How you leading me, coach? I just read that you lied to the NCAA. When your back was against the wall, you didn't have the balls to stand up. You wilt it. You lie. You delete it. And it was only until they said, yo, clown, we can go get these text messages. We can do it easy. We can do it hard. Only until then did you decide to turn them over. That's a coward. That's a big time. But Michigan's used to this. See, Michigan used to be a little bit above everybody else. Michigan used to be, in their minds anyway, the greatest institution in the Big Ten, the best sports program. Bo, man, Bo Schembechler. He was the man. Then he became the AD. And when Bill Frieder took the job at Arizona State, Bo Schembechler rightly got rid of him before the NCAA tournament. Steve Fisher, well, in 1989, they went and won a national championship. It's legendary. But now Michigan's just become a shell of itself. The Fab Five embarrassed themselves, although they did become iconic, but they embarrassed the university with acting stupid and getting to school via cheating, big-time cheating. Guy named Ed Martin doesn't die. Chris Webber's in jail for a long time. Why? You know why? Lying to the federal investigation, a federal grand jury. That's a Michigan man. Now, my son went to Michigan. My son had a great experience. Michigan did have John Beilein, who, well, frankly, was a guy of great integrity. They had, and I know people don't like him, but their coaches over the years, Lloyd Carr and others, always had integrity. But along came Jimmy Harbaugh. He spoke of integrity. He talked of integrity. But you know what he did? Like everybody else, he started accusing others of behavior that he was doing. Oh, where are we seeing that right now? Duh. And so while he was speaking of integrity, he was cheating his brains off, but only, it appears, after Ryan Day in Ohio State was whooping his ass. Don't even get me into what Urban Meyer did to him. Urban Meyer made Jim Harbaugh his little bitch. In fact, I saw it for myself. Urban and I are walking out of Indiana after he was doing the Indiana-Michigan football game at IU. And we're walking out, and here comes Harbaugh with some minion. Urban reached out his hand. I was standing behind Urban. I wanted to watch the interaction. Urban stuck out his hand. Coach, how you doing? Good win. Jim Harbaugh's exact response, put his head, couldn't speak, intimidated. Thought he was going to cry, actually. It's really funny. What happened then? Well, you know what happened then. 2020, Harbaugh, too chicken shit, canceled the Ohio State-Michigan game, even though, some reason, Michigan went and played Indiana and others. Couldn't play that game. COVID. Chicken shit. Then Harbaugh decided, enough of losing. I'm going to hire this guy Stalions. I'm going to look away. Chicken shit. Then when the NCAA came in, I'm just going to lie. I'm going to lie publicly. I'm going to lie. And you know what? All of a sudden, out of the blue, he started beating Ryan Day. Huh. Fascinating. Out of the blue. Well, see, Connor Stalions didn't matter. No. Connor Stalions is the damn most valuable player in Jim Harbaugh's life. No question. In his coaching life. See, Harbaugh got this naturally. His daddy, who's considered a legendary coach, went to Western Michigan for 1 year, gets the head coaching job, and gets the absolute shit kicked out of him. What did his daddy do? Turned and ran back to Western Kentucky, where he became a, quote, legend. Turning and running is a Harbaugh thing, except for John. John seems to have missed it, but that's okay. That's all right. We know who they are. Let's look at some stuff. The draft states that the texts were later recovered via video device imaging and more subsequently produced them. That is so funny to me. That is so incredibly funny to me. According to the ESPN report, the NCAA also verified that Stalions was on the sideline at Central Michigan for the Chippewas game against Michigan State week 1 last year. And oh, by the way, Sherrone Moore has blocked me on Twitter. Old blood and guts. Old tough guy blood and guts. That is so good. I can't tell you how much I love that. He should block me. Me and Cheats have never gotten along. Calvin Sampson, I actually went and worked for him. I want to see how this worked, and I want to get back to Bloomington in a cush job. I did. And by the time he and I were done, we haven't spoken a word to each other since 2008. Cheats don't like me. Cheats will never like me. I don't want Cheats to like me. It's pretty funny, really. Michigan cheats. Michigan's full of shit. Remember Penn State with their super society, Joe Paterno? How'd that turn out? Michigan's always been the same thing. A little bit higher, a little bit above everybody in the Big Ten. Turns out, like Taylor Swift said, they're just dirty, dirty cheats. A Taiwanese boxer, Li Wu Ting, who previously failed a gender test, was guaranteed an Olympic medal from the Paris Games after the fighter defeated Bulgaria's Svetlana Kamarova Staniva. A unanimous decision in the quarterfinals. Lian and an Algerian boxer named Iman Kiev have faced scrutiny over a disqualification from the 2023 International Boxing Association Women's World Championships. Both will now be at least bronze medal winners, as there is no other match for losing semifinalists. All right. International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach defended having Lin and Klee fight in the women's division. This is so funny to me. What is going on in this context in the social media with all the hate speech, with this aggression and abuse, and fueled by this agenda is totally unacceptable. All right. Lin has maintained focus on the possibility of winning a gold and has not mentioned the scrutiny. Svetlana made the XX symbol, which is a symbol for a woman. XY chromosomes are symbols for men. Both of these women have it. Look, I don't know. I don't understand this. And I will never understand this. This goes to the Olympics. The Olympics and the boss of the Olympics are saying, well, some people want to own what a woman means. Not really. No, not really. Nobody wants to own nothing. I mean, who the hell wants to own what a woman means? What a woman means is you're a woman. What do you want me to tell you? XX chromosome. But apparently, they are so embroiled in this that they must continue to speak. Now, look, it is an unfair advantage. There's no question about it. But I got to tell you, is it their fault? No, is it their fault they were born this way? Is it having an XY chromosome? I'm just going to read this. Means they have an unfair advantage against female competitors. Well, yeah. But if they're born that way, it's a tough thing. Like, if there's tampering involved here, if there's gender switching or whatever the proper term for that nonsense is, then I got to ask a question. Okay, get rid of them. Or should you get rid of them? Let me answer my own question. Yes. But if there isn't, and you're born this way, and you got all the female genitalia, I'm a little bit torn here. Not everybody's born the same. I've heard LeBron James talk about being in the NBA. I shouldn't be here. Really? You were 6'8", 220 when you were in ninth grade. I mean, what are you talking about? You should absolutely be there. But I got what he was saying. He was talking socially. But anyway, people are born different. I have a hard time condemning these women. I know XY is a woman, or is a man, excuse me. Obviously, we know that. But my real problem is there was a point in time when the Olympics were the gold standard of drug testing, where the Olympics were it. Hey, man, this ain't the Olympics. I don't have to pee in a cup, that kind of thing. The Olympics, man, they didn't mess around, and now all they do is mess around. Are they woke for this? Are they just feeding a woke agenda? That's my real question. Is this just like, well, we're too chicken shit to do anything about this, so we're going to give in? Now, the International Boxing Association said, yeah, we ain't giving in. These are dudes. Get out of here. But that's my real concern here. Is the Olympic boxing, is the Olympics just simply turning over like most in the world are? Because I got to tell you, go woke, go broke ain't a fake thing. Go woke, go broke's a real thing. I mean a real thing. I don't know. I got to tell you, it sure seems like it, though. Sure seems like that's what's going on here. And if it is, I don't like it. Hey, this is fascinating to me. Dwayne Haskins' family. Remember Dwayne Haskins, the former national champ at Ohio State, walking down the street, got hit by a truck, killed? His family is suing the quarterback's widow for constant harassment. Now think about this, constant harassment. Listen to this story. According to Marin is the lawyer. The suit says Haskins' widow, Kalabaya Haskins, contacted Instagram to have the accounts of Haskins' parents disabled as recently as May 2024. It also says Kamala challenged the establishment of the Haskins Family Foundation. OutKick adds that Haskins' parents allege that Kamala attempted to take a painting of the quarterback that belonged to them at a memorial in Maryland. Kamala also refuses to provide an accurate accounting of Haskins' assets and estate. OutKick's reporting all this while also refusing to share his ashes with them. How heartbreaking. You know, how incredibly heartbreaking. Look, you're a parent. As a parent, you want your kid, in life and in death, you want them to have some dignity. You don't need some woman or some man or some outsider. I know you're not an outsider necessarily if you're married, but you don't want somebody that is outside of you being a parent coming in, taking things, and destroying your memory or the lasting memory of your son or daughter. You just don't. And anybody that thinks you do is nuts. You just don't. And this is sad. You would hope that Dwayne Haskins in his death has peace. You would hope that the family somehow could find peace from such a tragic event, but apparently that's not going to happen. Look, we all don't know the backstory. So I'm not going to criticize the wife. Maybe she's grieving hard too. Maybe she just wants memories. Maybe she's a gold digger. I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm not going to condemn. Obviously, the Haskins family, Dwayne Haskins' parents, whatever, they feel that there's something off here. I don't have the answer. What I do know is this. I pray for everybody and I just had a tragedy of a good friend of mine with his daughter. I just pray that people get peace. I just pray that people in death can find some type of relief, some type of happiness, some type of joy. And it doesn't seem like it's happening here. It doesn't seem like it's happening here at all. And I feel like these type of things never end. And if they do end, it ends badly with a permanent divide, and that's just sad. Because I'm guessing the wife loved Haskins. I know the family loved Haskins. And two people, like, clashing in that manner sucks. I've told you, there is no more immature athlete in the world than this A'ja Wilson woman. This A'ja Wilson woman is apparently the best basketball player in women's basketball. She's complaining that an Olympic official told her to get her emotions in check. What's wrong with that? She's a child. If you've ever seen interviews with A'ja Wilson, she's a child. She's a complete child. Listen to this. This is somehow bad. Somehow this is bad. Listen, he said, I need to get my emotions in check. And I think that just hired my emotions because I'm like, how are you going to tell me at my job that I can't show emotion, passion? Well, now let me read that. This is where you can't deal and argue with children. And this A'ja Wilson is a child. So she went from saying get him in check, not show him. Don't hold him in. Get him in check. The referee, and I've been involved in a zillion games, is trying to help this dummy. But this dummy is a constant victim. A'ja Wilson is always going to be a victim. It's just what she's doing. So she took it from get him in check to how are you going to tell me at my workplace? Shut up. It's a game. First. Then that I can't have emotion or passion. No one's telling you that. By your own words, no one's telling you that. I said, get him in check. Don't be an idiot. Right? So I kept my cool. There you go. I continue being me. Okay, child. Yeah, I'm going to be me. I'm mad. Okay. All right, let's do that. Let's be mad. Go stand over in the corner and be mad. I'm going to continue to be me. All right. Yay, right. I'm telling you. I've told you before, I don't want to hear about this woman. This woman is a 10-year-old. She obviously lies or spins the truth by saying the guy told me to keep him in check, and he told me I can't show emotion. So I kept my cool. I continue being me. I kept my cool by understanding who I am and who I have around me. And don't look back and just keep going. Now, what are you, 5? I'm sorry. 10-year-olds, my apology. I'm sorry, 10-year-olds. I insulted you. This woman is 5 years old. And I'm not insulted. If 5-year-olds get insulted, nothing I can do about it. They won't remember. Said the official made the comment after he had gone back to look at a replay. I'm not telling him don't blow your whistle. Like, I'm not telling you how to do your job. Don't tell me how to do mine. Oh, shut up. Referee's there to keep order. I'm telling you, these women of the WNBA, they're being exposed as the dumbest women ever. The dumbest, most jealous, most childlike women ever. Real women don't act this way. When you're at a job and there is a supervisor, which a referee is, the supervisor can say, in the right way, of course, because we don't want little Asia to get herself all up, never mind, get all up in her feelings or whatever you say. But he's supposed to do that. He's helping her, but she's too immature and childish to know. I'm going to do my job. Oh, shut up. Is that the first time really a referee said anything to you? The level of stupid, it's a bigger picture here. The level of stupid in the WNBA is fascinating. It really is. Entitled children who are being exposed. Michael Thompson, Clay's dad, who's going to join us, two-time NBA champ, he's going to join us here in a minute. He coined the acronym JEEP. Jealousy, envy, ego, pettiness. And he's right. That's what these women are. And now, here's your ego. You can't tell. Keep them in check. Hey, lady, how about you go sit your ass on the bench with 3 technicals? That's doing your job. Now, you just get tired. You get so tired of the stupid. We saw it with Caitlin Clark. I remember the one girl, the big girl from the Chicago Sky was braiding her hair during the press conference? The Becky Hammond, Asia Wilson, when Becky Hammond tried to tell us all that nobody in the WNBA was after Caitlin Clark when clearly everybody in the WNBA was after Caitlin Clark. These women are fascinated by their immaturity, their entitlement, and their stupidity. Oh, yeah, wait, victimhood as well. Always the victimhood. Never forget the victimhood. Asia Wilson, just stop. Scottie Scheffler continues to rock and roll. What a performance. Shot a 63 last night. Went birdie, 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 birdie down the stretch on the back nine. Well, everybody was taking a poop in the bed, particularly John Rahm, who, by the way, I had taken our friend Dave Ross's advice, and I had bet on him. But he continues to dominate the world of golf, and he brought home the gold, baby. He shot 62 in the final round, overtakes several players. John Rahm was rolling. John Rahm had a 4-shot lead and on Sunday, and then John Rahm lifted a cheek. John Rahm kept hitting the ball in the bad stuff. Now, a lot of people saying, see, John Rahm couldn't compete at the highest level because he's on the LIV Tour. I don't know whether that's true or not, and frankly, what do I care? With Scheffler winning the gold medal, the Masters of Players, Xander Schauffele winning the PGA and the Open, Bryson DeChambeau winning the U.S. Open, the Americans have been crushing it in golf. And actually, what makes this even more interesting is Scottie Scheffler got a mugshot from back in Louisville at Valhalla. What makes it also interesting is Bryson DeChambeau took off that ridiculous frat boy flat build hat that he wore and has become a likable, interesting figure in golf. And Xander Schauffele, who was at one point considered kind of a bad boy in golf, I guess. I don't know why. But anyway, he blew away, and I mean blew away, the moniker that he can't win big late. Now, it's been a really interesting summer for golf. Very fun to watch. Actually, I thought Victor Gomez, who was the France's representative, was incredible as well. He shot 62, and I felt like every time he came to the 18th hole, at least for the first couple of days, he drilled a long putt in front of all of the fans there who were rooting like crazy for him, and he almost did it again to sort of kind of maybe put himself on the podium, and he missed it by an inch. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. And I also got to tell you, I love watching greatness. I love watching people dominate. I've said for years, I love watching Tiger Woods dominate, and then people climb to try to achieve. The bodies in golf changed when Tiger Woods came in. I don't know if the footwork in golf is going to change based on how Scheffler goes about his business with his feet. Maybe, maybe not. But it was fun to watch. I've told you before, I'll tell you again. I love early morning sports. Sunday morning, turn it on, prop up the bed, cup of coffee, my phone. Nice. Very, very nice. Hey, well, let's get a little political here. as our Democratic friends are now trying to get us into World War III. They've opened the borders. Crime is through the roof to the point where 30%, most of our major cities don't even report the crime numbers because, well, it makes the Democrats look good. Now, we're trying to crash the economy. Don't look at your 401k. Look away, look away, look away. Don't look at anything on the market as the market continues to crash. The Japan market crashed this morning or last night. The futures through the toilet. So Kamala Harris has a solution. Let's listen to Kamala Harris's solution to all that's going on. Let's go first. She has a plan to fix inflation in our country. Let's hear that.
What else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously, very seriously. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life for all people in our country. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously. And it is a priority, therefore.
Speechless. Just speechless. We have the dumbest human being in. Heels Up has proven herself to be stupid, but that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to explain to you the iCloud cloud. Let's hear from Kamala. Come on, baby. Give it to me, baby.
So now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right? Mm-hmm. It's no longer in a physical place.
When God was giving out brains, Kamala thought he said trains, and she asked for a slow one. Well, this is just too good. This last one, it's just too good. This is Kamala Harris discussing community banks and opening community banks. Here comes Kamala Harris on community banks.
We invested an additional $12 billion into community banks because we know community banks are in the community and understand the needs and desires of that community as well as the talent and capacity of community.
Oh, well, good. Community banks are in the community. Okay. Good for her. She is legitimately, and oh man, you don't like a black woman to succeed. That's what I hear. She ain't black. Hey, look, she's black as me. I mean, Serbian, Jamaican, same kind of deal. What? And, it is kind of a big deal. Like George Stephanopoulos got all over Byron Daniels the other day. He's calling it a slur now. He's calling it a slur to ask or say, what is your race, Kamala Harris? So now, according to Bill Clinton's little butt buddy, George Stephanopoulos, it's now a slur to figure out what race your president is in the United States. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Just a second. It's a slur because some 2-foot-tall white guy says it's a slur. Some 2-foot-tall white guy who helped the former president do all kind of shenanigans. He's saying it's a slur. The white guy's telling the African-American what's a slur. Because the United States of America is probably, it's seemingly being run by a woman that we don't even know her race. It used to be you knew everything about a president. Used to be you knew what toothpaste he used. I remember Jimmy Carter talking about lust. Now we're not even allowed, according to George Stephanopoulos, to know the race of our president. Man, that's weird to me. No, that's really, really weird. That's odd to me. Really? We can't even know her race, or it's a slur? See, when somebody says the word slur, what George Stephanopoulos was trying to do to Byron Daniels was trying to paint him with a brush of being a racist. That's what they do. Look, let's forget all of that stuff. Let's forget all of the who's black, who's white, who's that, and let's just go to policy. And if Donald Trump were smart, that's exactly what he would do. Donald Trump would stop all the stupidity. Everybody right now, he made his point. Everybody is questioning what Kamala Harris is. White, black, green, purple, but it's a slur. You can't ask what the president of the United States is because it's a slur. And by the way, America is so racist and so divided black and white that a woman actually has to pretend to be black to be the president. That was humor. That's is the moral authority on slurs after all the devious stuff he did for Bill Clinton. Awesome.